What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, your brain is literally reshaping itself? Not metaphorically, I mean physically rewiring its neural pathways based on what you're focusing on. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand not just how this incredible process works, but how you can deliberately harness it to become smarter, more skilled, and even change unwanted habits. Here's something that might surprise you. A child's brain can effortlessly pick up languages, master complex video games, and adapt to new environments without breaking a sweat. But as adults, learning that new language feels like climbing Mount Everest, and don't even get me started on trying to change a bad habit. Why is this? Are we just doomed to decline as we age? The answer lies in understanding something called neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize and form new neural connections. But here's the kicker. The rules of the game completely change when you become an adult. During childhood, your brain is essentially a neuroplasticity machine, running on autopilot. It's like having a construction crew working 24/7, building new neural highways with every experience. Kids don't need to focus intensely to rewire their brains. It happens through simple exposure to the environment. Their brains are primed for massive, spontaneous adaptation. But when you hit adulthood, that all-access pass expires. Your brain becomes more selective, more efficient, but also more demanding. Instead of passive absorption, you now need a key to unlock neuroplastic changes. And that key? Focused attention. So what exactly happens in your brain when you focus? Think of it like conducting a symphony of neurochemicals. When you direct your attention intentionally, your brain releases a cocktail of powerful molecules. First up is acetylcholine, your brain's spotlight operator. This neurotransmitter doesn't just help you focus. It literally tags specific neural circuits and says, hey, these connections are important. Let's strengthen them. It's like putting a post-it note on the neural pathways you want to keep. Then comes epinephrine, essentially your brain's natural adrenaline. This chemical creates a state of arousal and alertness that primes your neurons for change. It's your brain saying, something important is happening here. All hands on deck. But here's where it gets really interesting. These neuromodulators don't just randomly flood your brain. They're precision instruments that selectively mark the exact neural circuits you're actively engaging. It's like having a molecular GPS system that guides plasticity to where it's needed most. Now, not all focus is created equal. Your brain responds differently to two types of attention, and understanding this difference is crucial for optimizing your learning. Transient attention is like a camera flash, brief, intense, and highly specific. When something suddenly grabs your attention, it creates sharp, targeted neural activation. This is great for immediate enhancement and specificity, but it's like writing with disappearing ink. The effects don't last long. Sustained attention, on the other hand, is like a steady campfire. It maintains prolonged neural engagement, creating the perfect environment for lasting plastic changes. This type of focus doesn't just enhance performance temporarily, it actually remodels your brain's architecture. Think about it. When you're deeply focused on learning a new skill for an extended period, you're not just practicing, you're literally sculpting your brain. The neurons that fire together during this sustained attention begin to wire together, forming stronger, more efficient connections. But what's actually happening at the microscopic level? Here's where things get fascinating. When you focus intensely, you trigger a cascade of molecular events that sound like something out of a biology textbook but are happening in your head right now. Your focused attention activates something called long-term potentiation, or LTP for short. Think of LTP as your brain's way of saying, "This connection is important, so let's make it stronger." It's like upgrading from a dirt road to a superhighway between neurons. At the same time, your brain starts producing brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. This is essentially miracle grow for your neurons. BDNF promotes the growth of new dendritic spines, the tiny branches that form connections between brain cells. More connections mean better, faster, more efficient neural networks. Here's something most people don't realize. The real transformation doesn't happen when you're focused and alert. It happens when you're asleep. During deep sleep, particularly during slow-wave sleep, your brain enters what we might call construction mode. The neural pathways you strengthened through focused attention during the day get reinforced and consolidated. It's like your brain has a night shift that comes in to solidify all the work the day shift accomplished. Your brain literally replays the neural firing patterns from your focused learning sessions. These replay events aren't random. They're your brain's way of saying, "This was important today, so let's make sure it sticks." This is why pulling all-nighters before exams is counterproductive. You might think you're maximizing learning time, but you're actually sabotaging the very process that would cement that information in your brain. Now let's address the elephant in the room. We're living in an era of unprecedented distraction. Your phone buzzes every few minutes, notifications pop up constantly, and your attention is pulled in 1,000 directions. How does this affect your brain's ability to change and adapt? The truth is, our always-on digital world is creating a crisis of attention. When your focus is constantly fragmented, you never achieve the sustained attention necessary for meaningful neuroplastic changes. It's like trying to light a fire with matches when there's a constant wind. You might get sparks, but you'll never get a flame. But here's the good news. Digital tools, when used correctly, can actually enhance neuroplasticity. Virtual reality environments, brain-computer interfaces, and even well-designed apps can provide the focused, intensive training your brain needs to change. The key is intentionality, using technology as a tool for focused attention rather than letting it scatter your focus. So how do you actually apply this knowledge? How do you become a master of your own neuroplasticity? First, embrace the power of focused attention sessions. This means creating periods of intense, sustained focus on whatever skill or habit you want to develop. Think 25 to 90 minutes of undistracted practice, followed by rest periods. This isn't just time management, it's neuroplasticity management. Second, understanding that challenge is crucial. Your brain doesn't change when you're comfortable. It changes when you're struggling just enough to stay engaged, but not so much that you give up. This is what researchers call the stretch zone, that sweet spot where learning happens. Third, repetition with variation is key. You want enough repetition to strengthen neural pathways, but enough variation to prevent your brain from going on autopilot. It's like cross-training for your neurons. Here's something crucial that often gets overlooked. Not everyone's brain responds to neuroplasticity interventions the same way. Your genetic makeup, particularly variations in genes like BDNF, can influence how quickly and effectively your brain adapts to focused training. Some people are genetic lottery winners when it comes to neuroplasticity. They have naturally high levels of growth factors and respond quickly to training. Others might need more intensive or longer training periods to see the same results. This isn't about being smart or dumb. It's about understanding your unique neurobiological profile. The key is not to get discouraged if you don't see changes as quickly as someone else. Your brain is still capable of remarkable transformation. It might just need a different approach or more time. This understanding of focused attention and neuroplasticity isn't just academic theory. It's revolutionizing how we treat everything from stroke recovery to depression. Researchers are now combining cognitive training with brain stimulation techniques like transcranial magnetic stimulation to supercharge neuroplastic changes. Imagine being able to precisely target the brain regions you want to change while simultaneously engaging them through focused practice. It's like having a personal trainer for your neurons, and the results are remarkable. Stroke patients are regaining motor function years after their injury. People with depression are literally rewiring the circuits that control mood, and individuals with cognitive impairments are restoring mental abilities once thought permanently lost. One of the most common questions I get is it too late for me to change my brain? Whether you're 30, 50, or 80, the answer is a resounding no. While it's true that neuroplasticity changes with age, becoming more selective and requiring more focused effort, it never disappears entirely. Your aging brain might be like a vintage car that needs more careful attention, but it's still capable of taking you on incredible journeys. In fact, some research suggests that older adults can actually benefit more from certain types of cognitive training precisely because their brains have to work harder, potentially leading to more robust neural changes. Think about the broader implications of what we're discussing. If we can teach people how to deliberately reshape their brains through focused attention, we're not just talking about individual improvement. We're talking about societal transformation. Imagine educational systems designed around neuroplasticity principles, where students learn not just subjects, but how to literally grow their brains. Picture rehabilitation programs that help people overcome trauma, addiction, and mental illness by teaching them to rewire their neural circuits. Consider workplaces that understand how to optimize focus and learning for peak performance. This isn't utopian thinking. It's the logical extension of what we now know about the brain's capacity for change. Remember how I started this video by telling you that your brain was reshaping itself as you watched? Well, it actually was. Every moment you spent focused on this information, every concept that captured your attention, every aha moment you experienced, all of that was triggering the very neuroplastic processes we've been discussing. Your brain tagged the neural circuits involved in processing this information. Acetylcholine marked the pathways as important. BDNF began promoting new connections. And tonight, while you sleep, your brain will consolidate these new neural patterns, making this knowledge a part of your mental architecture. So here's my challenge to you. Take what you've learned today and put it into practice. Choose one skill you want to develop or one habit you want to change. Apply the principles we've discussed: sustained, focused attention, appropriate challenge, and regular practice. Give your brain the conditions it needs to transform itself. Track your progress, be patient with the process, and remember that every moment of focused attention is literally sculpting your brain. You're not just learning or practicing. You're participating in one of the most remarkable processes in the universe: the deliberate transformation of your own neural architecture. Your brain is waiting. Your potential is unlimited. The only question now is, what will you focus on changing first?